EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Thanksgiving matchup. It's the Patriots and the Lions, and it's coming up next.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Now Stevens. Open man is Quintez Cephas. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Throwing is Stevens. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice throw there for the first down. And this is a big moment for this young man under center. You know, he's had a few months now to get acclimated to life in the NFL, but you got to think, a little extra pressure here, right, CD? I mean, you're getting the start on Thanksgiving in front of the national audience.
Especially since you and I both know he's watched this game since he was, 4, 5, 6 years old and dreamed of playing in it. In fact, his family sent us some of those videos of he and his family in the backyard playing their Turkey Bowl games themselves. So now he's gone from the backyard to the big stage, and here he is.
Stevens setting up to throw it. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Here's Stevens to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing, Jones. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
First down, Patriots.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. He's to the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. His 4th rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 7 overall. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Valentine opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they, almost to a man, told us how excited they are to be playing in this traditional Thanksgiving game. But we have to remember, this is a team that lost on Sunday. Now they get a very quick turnaround to play again. How difficult is that to do?
It's difficult under any normal circumstance. When you're coming off of a loss and you have a quick turnaround, the first thing is to put the loss behind you and move forward. But when you play on Thanksgiving Day, everyone's watching you. It's an added bonus, though, because now you put the loss behind you. Get that taste out of your mouth, because the taste you want is victory, turkey, and pumpkin pie.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stevens. Over the middle, complete. It's Hunt. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Patriots, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run. A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And this time they were ready for him, as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal, with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Back to throw. Stevens. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. This is intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Stevens. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
But he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. On 3rd down, Stevens. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he's got room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Off the play fake. Jones. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Lions will take over. On 1st and 10, Stevens. And that is incomplete. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Looking to throw. Jones. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith, but it'll be 2nd down. On the draw is Stevenson. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about this defense that came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this one is right down the middle. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Stevens' throw taken in by Hockenson here. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Stevens. We're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Jack Fox now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Miles. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 69 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, Jones. And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones, he'll let this go for the end zone. That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots. Nelson Aguilar. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stevens. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Patriots take over. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense.
How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
From the 40 now on second down. Jones. This is Smith with a grab. Pushing his way through. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Jonnu Smith, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Valentine opting not to return it, and his guys will have it at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense.
He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor.
Eight yards to go on second down.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Jones. Touchdown! It's complete. Kendrick Bourne, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to their lead. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Stevenson is into the end zone. Touchdown, New England. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. On first down, Stevens. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw. Stevens. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
What we got? 45's the mic.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it. Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Back to throw. Stevens. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Oh, man. Can't do that.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up fourth.
That's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Calling no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 and the 19. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Stevens. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Back to throw. Stevens. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Patriots. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. You might want to take that course. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 yards.
They'll run again with Harris. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
And Detroit back in possession of the football.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
See how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Stevens. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that will be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots, and they were